Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is how I warm up my voice. Warm up my voice so I don't sound like a horse. Horses, yeah. Pink little ponies, leaving it in for a laugh. Yeah, yeah. Welcome to the Starting Over podcast. I am your host, Edward Shelton, aka Dark Logos, and this is the show or podcast in which we look at the strategies, tactics, and mechanics behind the game of HEROCLIX. Man, this is take two, and y'all won't see take one. Uh, I got a bit of information today that literally the show I recorded was going to be up probably within a day or so. And I recorded it late at night. And then it's like, I got a text message say, hey, dude, did you check this out? I check it out and it's like, man, I am sort of not liking what my previous podcast said. So due to questionable information, all the stuff changed. Anyway, before we get into today's show, which is going to be about something awesome, because it's always about something awesome, because we rock on the show here. You, the listeners, and the guest, and the host, and all that jazz. So we're going to give some shout-outs. First shout-out to Tom, a.k.a. Silent Scream, and also Mr. Place for winning their No Man's Land Month 6. Enjoy the Bat Caves, men. Enjoy the Bat Caves. Definitely when you have your whole back computer psychic blast jazz. The beauty. And for anybody else that's won their No Man's Land, let me know. Shout outs whenever I can. Also, shout out to Daredevil 9 from HC Realms, gave me a cool PM. So shout outs to you. Keep on the grind in undergrad. And remember, figure out how you're going to make money with that degree. Don't be like me. Don't be like me. All right. With that being said, what is today's topic? Today's topic is none other than team dials, the bedwetting, nightmarish things that have been released upon us. Or is it? And so we're really going to look at that. And I feel there's a lot of good tech here, but there's also a lot of elements in which I feel, in all honesty, is not that scary. And I feel that what's going on is we have taken so much time on how do I beat the Justice League? How do I come back and do this awesome thing? Oh my gosh, I pulled Outlaws. This sucks. I can't believe it. We've gotten so focused around that, we ended up not actually just looking at them for what they are. Okay, so let's start looking at them for what they are, because I know for myself, and definitely in the case of the Justice League, I have been so caught up looking at their first 3 clicks. So we're going to look at them, and now here's what I want you to do. Okay, I want you, if you're on the road listening, you don't have to do this. But if you are at your computer and you're like, I can follow along, Dark Logos. Go ahead, go to whatever units you use so you can see, or even pull out your figure if you want to. And I want you to keep some things in front of you. If you do have a team dial, look at their team dial rules, just the general rules. Okay. If you don't have a team dial, that's fine. Trust me. By the time all said and done, you may be happy or sad. Also, what I want you to do is just sort of, if you can follow me around on your units section, whatever you're using, and look at the dials with me, because I'm going to say some very particular things. Okay, so that's a warning. Also, you don't know when I'm doing Justice League. You just don't know when I'm going to talk about it. That's how I keep people listening, man. If I had commercial breaks, I'd be making money. I keep it like a thriller. Michael Jackson style. There we go. All right, so let's get into it. First off, let's look at some comments that made me have to redo my analysis on team dials. Currently, right now, there is a rules discussion. And this rules discussion goes as follows. If I have a mind controller and I mind control Blackheart and I make them to kick off one of his little minion demons or whatever, and now that little minion demon is friendly to my force. But when the action's over, that Blackheart is no longer friendly to my force. Do I get to keep the Blackheart demon? Well, the previous ruling was is that if you mind control Squirrel Girl and to eject Monkey Joe off, you would possess Monkey Joe. Just period. You possess Monkey Joe. He's friendly to your force, which will really neuter a Squirrel Girl. Okay, so they were like, hey, we're ruling this in the same fashion with Dark Star, Black Star, whatever the dude's name is, and his demons that pop off. Okay, now take a leap forward. Team dials. Somebody asked, if I mind control a team dial and make them pop off one of their guys, is that guy mine? And so the logic goes as yes, because the characters on the team dial are no different than Monkey Joe or the little demons on Blackheart. So, what does this mean? It means Teen Titans got an upgrade. Okay, it means Teen Titans is a lot more competitive. What it also means is that Justice League has to be afraid of the Witch Doctor and that voodoo that he does oh so well, and you should know who I'm talking about. Also, there's a bunch of really, really good mind controllers in Teen Titans. And I don't like the set overall, but there are some high jewels. I will let you know it will be a little bit until we do a Teen Titans review, mainly because of this. I have a No Man's Land. Technically, is today Thursday or Friday? Nope, today's Friday. I have a No Man's Land today and tomorrow. And I also have an interview with a person for the show. So, also, I got some other writing duties that I just need to put down League of Legends and do. So, that's the big stuff. So, please note, Teen Titans review, it is coming, just not coming soon. Okay, so the first dial that we're going to look at, because I love you all so very much, is New Teen Titans. And just keep in mind, I'm not going to go in sequential order. So don't bother trying to be like, he's going to talk about Justice League next. I'm not. Here we go. And here's how I'm going to break it down. We're going to look at the rookie experience and vet of all the dials. We're going to look at their traits and assets, abilities. I'm going to point out which is the best version for your points. What's the best version to work with? Okay, so let's start off with the rookie dial. The rookie dial gives us Running Shot, Psychic Blast, gives us a cool defensive power that says Teen Titans can use Toughness and Combat Reflexes. Gleam, okay, Smiling Teeth. Okay, then we go into their damage special power, not sidekicks anymore. At the beginning of your turn, choose one, Outwit, Perplex, or Probability Control. Teen Titans can use that power this turn. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. If you play them only as, and I'm going to say 300, and that's if all the characters are on there. If you play them at 300, you have a very, very good solid base, because if you just use them as your only like one-man army, or even with some other Teen Titans, they can have prob from their dial just for the pure fact that they're on a theme team. Now, if you play them by themselves, they have prob inherently. So where does this power sort of kick in with the not sidekicks anymore if you're looking at prob? If you're just like, man, team dial fight, baby, yeah, I got 3 team dials fighting, then yes, their probability control is very solid. Okay. But other than that, you can really pretty much rule out prob as something that you're normally going to pick if you're going to play the Teen Titans dial. Next up, we're going to look at their assets and why their assets is really good. And I'm going to jump to the big ones. First off is Robin. Robin says, hey, new Teen Titans can use Outwit, and only adjacent characters can target them with Outwit. So you means you have to base them to outwit them. But it also gives us Outwit. So going back to not sidekicks anymore, since we start with the Robin ability on our dial, we have Ghetto Fortitude. Not only that, we have Outwit. So since we don't really need to turn the dial, we have Outwit. So if we have a team dial, if it's the only character on our force and it's a theme team, well, guess what? We have, Prob as well. So we have Prob and Outwit. So the only thing that we're really using not sidekicks anymore is for Perplex. So right there at 300 points, you have to understand this. And this is why they're a major threat. You have Outwit with Robin. You have Prob because they're a theme team. And you have Perplex because that's the only thing that's left. So you have the trinity of special powers. Don't forget that you have the trinity of special powers. Next up, with the traits, we're going to look at Starfire because it gives us defend and flight. And this is more useful for bigger point games where you have other figures. Not so much with them themselves. Now, I will also say that if you do decide to pop some figures off, they are no longer at 300. And this applies for any of the commentary from here on out. So please copy paste your analysis. Because you have all of them on there, they'll hit 300 points. If you take one off, they'll be 295. So if you take one off, they will have 2 actions instead of 3 actions. Okay. Where this becomes very particular is I'll get to that later. It becomes very particular because if someone pops off a character, they can no longer do 3 actions. They can do 2, which really limits the team dials for their cost. Okay. So they're stuck with pretty much a better version of multi-attack, and that's it. All right. Moving on. The other thing I like is the Cyborg trait. New Teen Titans can't be the target of opposing characters' probability control. Sort of worth risking rolling off to try to get if you can get Robin and Cyborg. I don't even know if they line up. I don't think they line up. Just sort of skimming through the dial here, because if Robin and Cyborg lined up, that would be awesome. Nope, they said you can't do that. That's too broken. And I really wish it was that they could line up, but oh well. Now, you might be saying, like, Dark Logos, you haven't talked about the trait yet. Well, it says Titans together forever. When all team members are attached, new Teen Titans can't be the target of mind control or penetrating psychic blast. So this is a very interesting development because, hey, guess what? If all the friends are on, they can't be targeted with mind control, which means that you can't, force pop a figure off. That sort of is, I mean, that's a game changer if the rules stay in place that once you mind control a figure, that you get if you mind control a figure to take off one of their attachables, you possess that attachable, or even let alone let that happen. So now new Teen Titans has some protection. They were like, shoot, man, these villains have been trying to mind control us and do evil things to us for years. We have mental blocks. We could see through that stuff. What was that British dude? Crazy Mod or something? I forgot. He was hilarious on the show. Anyway, moving on. Let's look at real quick at the other thing I feel that needs to be talked about on the dial is we go where we're needed. Give new Teen Titans a power action and place them adjacent to the highest point opposing character. Then make a close combat attack as a free action. Now, I think that you can do this in conjunction of your team attacks or whatever, but I may be wrong. But at the same time, being able to have that, pop up is really, really convenient. All right, let's go ahead and look at the experience version. The experience version is where I'm like, man, what the what in the what? I you start off with plasticity and close combat expert and super senses. Okay, in a 10 attack, gone is that beautiful 11 that you had. You have a 10 attack. And if someone knocks you really good, you won't see an 11 attack. So I don't like this. I really don't like this at all. Starting off as your main point. And this is the WizKids logic of, hey man, for 100 more points, we give you 4 more clicks. And my thought process is, for 100 more points, I can get 8 clicks with variable results with other figures. So yeah, the damage value really doesn't spike up. You're still looking at that 4 and 3 damage. So not the place to start. Only reason you would play this dial is if you're playing like a 600 or 700 point game. Really, a 500 point game, and you don't want to really just spend all your points on the new Teen Titans. Otherwise, there's no reason ever to start on the experience. Now comes the vet, and the vet leaves me in a mixed position because, again, it's WizKids logic of, hey man, I give you 100 more points, I give you 4 more clicks of life. Yeah, how you like that, man? And it's like, no. Fortunately, you don't have any, damage slumps, so that's nice. And the one thing about the whole dial is you're averaging about a 3.6, and I'm ballparking in my head, probably like a 3.6 average. And there's probably a mathematician out there who's like, actually, Dark Logos is like a 3.45, but you did good job eyeballing it. Fine, if bonus points to the person that does the math. Anyway, 19 defense starting off is okay. Really not the best situation I want to be in with invulnerability. The charge, not as appealing as the running shot. The quake, it just, you're sort of coming back to the rookie. Now, if you compare the rookie dial and the vet dial, I would say, hey, go with the rookie dial, because the rookie dial for a lot less points gives you a good chunk of health and a lot of options. Just go with that, okay? The vet, while it can offer you some longevity, it's not going to give you the sustainability that you need, okay? Now, here's the thing. When you break characters off on their solo missions, their starting point and technically starting line is going to be equal to the level in which you play the team dial at. So in the case of the new Teen Titans, your experience level, you're really not popping off anybody awesome. At the vet level, you're getting some goodness, definitely in the with Starfire. Starfire, you're definitely getting some awesome there. And I think I tolerate the cyborg. I really don't like him. But he's good if you want to try to get a little extra oomph from a ranged combat attack. Raven is your girl, because she can, how can I say it, provide the support. She can heal. So that has its advantages. And then she can pop back on the team dial like a boss. So, those are the things for you to really consider about when playing New Teen Titans. Moving on, next up, we are going to look at just straight up Teen Titans, because I care. Now, Teen Titans dial is interesting, mainly because you start off at a very low point at 180 as your starting point, and then you can go up to 200 point on your rookie, which is nice, which means that you can fill in other characters. Where it's a little bad is because you're pretty much stuck with multi-attack. You only can do 2 actions. They have a trait which is full roster. When all characters are attached to Teen Titans can use Colossal Stamina. Now, this can be good for a couple of reasons. First reason is they can always be used as a Teen Titan heal battery. They can burn themselves out like the sun if they want to. The other thing that becomes really interesting is When you use them, you can be like do my power action, running shot, melee attack, move, or actually like melee attack, move, running shot, blah. Yeah, there we go. That makes sense. Then you can be like, do it again. Pff, okay, now ranged attack, move, punch you. Like you can just go turn after turn after turn until you're like, 17 defense, let me heal. All right. Once you hit that 11 attack, 17 defense, outwit, that's when you say time to heal. And I think that it helps you a lot. Okay. At the rookie version, like I said, they are the awesome healing battery. But not only that, you just being able to push them if they have, as if they had colossal stamina as a trait, if they're all on there, is another bonus. Then they have their defensive special power, which is we created a family. They can use energy shield deflection, super senses, and toughness, which is pretty nice to have that combination. And it gives you some survivability, definitely when you have those 18 defense clicks. Now, where it sucks is you get charged on one of those clicks, so your energy shield may or may not be worth something. Out of the notable assets on the 4-person dial, now remember, you can only take one person off. You have to have 3 figures on the dial. Attached, to my knowledge. And yeah, I think you have to have a minimum 3 figures attached, unless it says otherwise. With Teen Titans, I would say the abilities that stand out is Aqualad. And he says like, hey buddy, those combat values we can't have our combat values modified by opposing characters, which is sort of cool. Now Robin says, hey, Teen Titans can use Outwit, and only adjacent characters can target them with Outwit, and they start with that. So it again is like ghetto fortitude. Wonder Girl is, hey, flight and shape change. But you don't get Robin and Wonder Girl together, which sort of sucks. Now, again, I'm going off of what HC Realms has as the asset dials, and it could be wrong, so I don't know. Also, they have Titans together. At the beginning of your turn, roll a d6 on a result of 5 through 6. Remove an action token from Teen Titans. Now, when you land on these, like the numbered powers on the asset dial, you do have to roll. So just sort of keep that in mind. So overall, colossal stamina, low points. Teen Titans does okay at the rookie level. I'm not a big fan of it. They can't do super crazy damage, and they're averaging about probably. I hate to say like a 2.9 because they have those 2 clicks of 2 damage at the end. So yeah, it's probably about a 2.9. It's definitely not a 3.1 or a 3. Okay, going on to the experience level. The experience level sort of ups things just a tad, and again follows WizKid's formula of, hey, I give you 100 points, buddy. You get 4 more clicks of life, man. Yeah. That's going to be like somebody's ringtone. It's like, just like download the show, cut out that one sample. It's just like, yeah. All your Clicks fans, and you have comments and ringtones from Dark Logos. There you go. Anyway, going on, you get running shot. You get your, hey man, we created a family, and 4 damage and shape change, which gives you a lot of evasiveness. Okay, so you have ESD, plus you have plus you have toughness, plus you have super senses, plus you have shape change. So your opponent has to get through all of that to finally hit you at a 300 point dial, okay, or 280 or whatever you're doing. Yeah, you're looking at 300 if you have them all on there. Okay, so overall, that's not bad. That's really not bad. Now, you do get that, hey, man, we get charged and outwit, but that's okay. You're not stressing that out. I would play this dial in a 500 to 600 point game for fun. Like, if there's nothing big on the line, just like, yeah, I want to play some Teen Titans. Yeah, definitely play them with an entourage. Because at this stage, they can definitely get beefed up. Also, a quick like caveat for new Teen Titans dial in Golden Age, they are awesome for Brilliant Tactician. Just saying. To receive it and give it, they are very loving in that way. Going on to the veteran Teen Titans dial, you get buffed up more. And this time, Whiz Kids were like, yeah, this time we're going to give you 6 clicks for 100 points. Which I'm like, thank you, Whiz Kids, because now this doesn't suck completely. Okay, so at around 400 points, you're looking at a very nice interaction with a full Teen Titans dial. You're able to pull off a character, but you're really not. You have no incentive to. Um, you have your We Created Family starting off, Shape Change, and Running Shot. Your click 1 is the same as just about same as your click 1 on your experience, except on your actually all your click 1s. They're pretty much just about the same with the shape change and damage reduction and running shot. So overall, if I had to pick like your best bet, I would say the experienced. Even though the vet gives you some really good awesomeness, that 9 attack that just appears out of nowhere, that sort of sucks. And if you land on that, that's not fun. Now, I will say this, and this is the one thing a lot of people are going to overlook on this dial. If you look at this dial from vet on downward, you're going to see some very interesting things. First off, you're only going to see 2 clicks of 9 attack. 2. That's better than Justice League. That's and some other team dials. Not only that, you don't see any clicks of 16, and you see 1, 2. Oh no, you have 1 click of 16 defense, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 clicks of 17. All right, and you have 4 clicks of shape change. All right, from just the dial itself. Now, add in the fact that Wonder Girl gives you shape change, which I don't like overlapping stuff, but okay. Wonder Girl gives you shape change. You have a lot of defensive abilities and survivability with them that you don't with a lot of other team dials. So what I would tell you is seeing Teen Titans on the other end of the battlefield, don't write them off. Please don't write them off. As your advisor, as your virtual friend, don't think easy win, because that will definitely end up in a disadvantage for you. Okay? Next up, we are going to look at Titans, Villains for Hire. Oh yeah, like I said, real quick, I like the experience. Experience is the most bang for your buck if you really want to have a little bit more annoying fun time. The vet, the rookie's not bad. It's just not most preferable. Okay, sorry. All right, going on. Titans Villains for Hire. These guys in particular are awesome. Really, really awesome. Now I know my friend Mega Lotus Man is going to be like, dude, they're not awesome. There's only one awesome. And then I'm like, I understand. I understand how you feel, dude. I understand. Okay, but here is the issue with Titans Villains for Hire. They start off a wild card. Okay, and that's the big thing. I want you to shift your mindset from, hey man, we are playing a team, to I am hiring mercenaries to kill my opponent. Okay, that's a big difference in mindset. Big difference in mindset. Because if you're like, hey man, I need a team and I'm building a team and that's what's going to be up. No. No, no, no. Because they don't have enough good figures to actually make a good team. Unless you spend a whole bunch of money to buy all the characters that would be on a team dial from some dude on eBay that's being a jerk. Okay? When you actually look at most of these figures that for their on their dials, the ones that you would pull off, they're okay. Like Cheshire, I like her. Cinder, I like her. Osiris is my boy. But the rest of it, I can take or leave. So I'm just, I'll leave it at that. Tattooed Man and Deathstroke. That at least Tattooed Man and Deathstroke. I don't like Tattooed Man or Deathstroke, but Tattooed Man may appear on my Black History Month team. Maybe if he proves that he can do something. Anyway, going on. Let's look at the rookie dial real quick. Oh, sorry. Let's look at the traits. Got to keep focused, people. The contract. Teen Titans Villains for Hire can use sharpshooter ability. At the beginning of the game, choose an opposing character. That character is the mark. If the mark is KO'd by an attack made by a character with the Villains for Hire keyword, victory points are awarded for that character are doubled. What does this mean? Again, these guys are mercenaries. All right. You look on the other end of the field, and you see that your opponent has Galactus, Superboy Prime, freaking Earth 2 Superman, whoever is high ridiculous amounts of points. And you say to yourself, I'm a little behind in the tournament, and I just need, if I kill that one dude, I know for sure I'm going to get ahead. This is a one-way arch enemies, almost one-way vendetta. Because Vendetta gives bonuses to both attackers. And this doesn't do that. Okay. So you say, hey, I see you have a Galactus there. The Galactus is the mark. And when I target you, I can get various bonuses depending on whatever. Now, once I kill you with Teen Titans Villains for Hire, I have pretty much almost won the game because I've killed your higher point character or a high point character. You can't win more points than what I KO'd. So now you have to wipe me to win. That puts enormous amount of pressure on your opponent. Okay? You're going to be like, well, Dark Logos are playing Justice League. Get Justice League out of your head for right now. Okay? I want you to calm down and focus. And say, hey, man, there is something here that we can exploit. All right, so let's look at their special power, Striking from the Shadows. Villains for Hire can use Running Shot and Stealth. And you're about to see why this is completely shenanigans. Then always return, the special defensive power, always return for the kill. Titans Villains for Hire can use Toughness and Regeneration. This is really, really good. Now, you're going to be like, Dark Logos, why you list off these two powers? Because our good friend Beta Ray Bill has a running buddy for 400 and 500 point games. You're like, hold up, wait, what? Stealth. They have stealth. Okay. Also, they can copy a team ability. So if Beta Ray Bill has Annihilators, then that's useful. The other thing that's really cool is since they have stealth on their toughness regeneration click, they can just be like, well, power action, do multi-options. I'm next to you, so I have a really good attack value at 11 attack and 4 damage. I'm going to exploit you. I'm going to roll regen. I got it. And, okay, let's run away. Booyah. Right there. Oh, I messed that up. I was supposed to say that when I was talking about Teen Titans. Oh, well. Oh, New Teen Titans. But I could save it for Justice League. There you go. So anyway, that's the interesting point. Also, they start off with Psychic Blast and Invulnerability. Now, when it comes to survivability, we look at their asset dial. We start with Deathstroke. And Deathstroke gives us Outwit. And when Teen Titans Villains for Hire attack the mark, modify their attack and damage values by +1. Now, this becomes interesting because on their rookie dial, they have Running Shot. And if you go straight for the mark, you'll have a 12 attack, 5 damage penetrating. And that is really good. Okay. The next thing that you will notice is looking at Cinder. Cinder is awesome because she can melt walls, but also, melt walls when you pop her off. But she also gives you the ability to use Phasing Teleport, Lines of Fire drawn by Teen Titans Villains for Hire to the mark, ignore blocking terrain. which turns you into Cosmic Spider-Man. You're like, hold up, it does turn us into Cosmic Spider-Man. Yes, it does. Now, why is this a big deal that it turns you into Cosmic Spider-Man? Imagine that you have a nice Teen Titans Villain for Hire dial, and they're contracted out by the Batman family. Well, let's say not the Batman family. Let's make it a lot more interesting. Um, who would hire them? Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor is contracted out the Villains for Hire, and he's rocking his. He's sitting in his chair rocking his Superman enemy. I think he has that on his dial. Yeah, okay, so, or Brainiac contracted him out. There you go. Marvel, a DC 10th Brainiac contracted him out. All right. And he's like, I have outwit with Superman enemy. Yay. Or I can allow you to use outwit so you're not stuck on Deathstroke. But for right now, we're stuck on Deathstroke, and we have a potential for outwit if we lose death, if we decide to spin the die. Okay, so that's who's contracted it out. And they're like, magical dimensions, we're on Death's realm. That opposing team is going to try to get to you, and the only thing you're going to be like is, oh, okay, yeah, we're just going to sit here and wait. Oh, okay, you're close. Cinder ability, we're going to running shot shoot you. Now we're going to psychic blast shoot you. Then we're going to running shot shoot you. All behind these walls. It doesn't say these walls are destroyed. And again, it's to the mark. Sorry. So you just shoot your mark, and it's like boom, boom, boom. Okay. The next ability I like is Cheshire, and Cheshire gives you poison, and damage dealt to the mark is penetrating. So you can do normal damage to everybody else, but to the mark is penetrating. Osiris gives you charge, and after Titans Villains for Hire resolves a move action, if they are adjacent to the mark, you may give them a close combat action as a free action. So where it becomes interesting is like you have a character that's low. You can melee attack, hit that character. Sorry, you can move. Sorry, you can charge, hit a character that's low, kill it, move, get a free attack with Osiris off of the move, and then attack again with the close combat attack action. Okay, so if you play it right with Osiris, you can squeak in an extra attack. Tattoo Man gives you shape change, and if they're attacked by the mark, they succeed on a 4 through 6. So it's like, okay, cool. It's not as good, but overall, it's good stuff. Now, here's some of the kickers. At rookie level, we're pretty much trying to keep them top dial, because that 11 attack 4 damage psychic blast is all that's really keeping them in the game. When we look at the experience version, we're like, oh gosh, that's good. New rules, in new rules, this is on the verge of broken, because you can running shot normally, then do range combat. Actually, running shot, use energy explosion, and do the 2 splash damage around, and then range combat expert after all said and done. So you have a lot of good ranged options with that. This defies the whiz kids. Hey man, for 100 more points, we'll give you 4 more clicks. But in this case, it sort of sucks because you go from 175 up to 325. So they're like, hey man, for like some more points, we can upgrade your jacuzzi for 150 points. You get an extra click. That's not fun. So overall, I don't like how much you pay, but gosh, that 400 points with everybody on there is pretty good. Now comes the questionable part. At the 500 point level, this is where I'm like, I don't know. I really don't know, and I would more along the line say, don't play this, don't play this, and here's why. You're like, hold up, but wait, Dark Logos, we got Beta Ray Bill. Yes, Beta Ray Bill is our friend, but if we cannot get Beta Ray Bill on here, we are in trouble. Okay, first off, even though we have stealth, hiding out is going to be a little bit of a problem. The next thing is, when we look at it, is we have no damage reduction. Top dial, so somebody can just range us for really good damage. Okay, so the perplex is sort of nice because we can perplex up our defense to a 19, but at the same time, that's not a nice place to be at, having to depend on a 19D. It also forces us into close combat, and I don't like that. So overall, I think that the experienced version is probably your moneymaker. The vet, though, I will say with the vet, this is when you just say, if you play the vet, you're in full mercenary mode. Pop these fools off and just be like, bam, we're going after everybody. Okay. The cool thing that is awesome is that they don't have an ability that says that, hey, we all have to be on the team dial. So that means you're popping off Cheshire, or actually you're popping off Deathstroke, because I don't like Deathstroke, but or you're popping off Cinder so she can burn down walls for you. Osiris so you can charge. I think Tattoo Man is probably going to stay on there most of the time. I don't really see a reason to pop him off. But if you play it like that, you all of a sudden start getting the bang for your buck. They are designed as mercenaries. They are not designed as a team. Okay, so I made that clear. Let's move on to the next dial. Because I love you, we're going to talk about Justice League. Yes, Justice League. Psych, we're not talking about Justice League. We're talking about Outlaws. Outlaws is again, I feel like mercenaries. You start off at the 185, and they have a trait that says we get along fine on our own. Outlaws may have as few as 2 team members attached. Outlaws can use sharpshooter ability, so that's nice. You have sharpshooter the entire time. Next up is all together now. At the beginning of your turn, choose combat reflexes or super senses. Outlaws can use the chosen power until the next turn when all members of this team dial are attached. That sort of sucks, but there's only 3 of them. So combat reflexes can be nice, definitely on your first rookie click, because you would have combat reflexes in energy shield deflection. So you would have +2 to anything except pulse wave. Anyway, next up is Arsenal. Arsenal gives you energy explosion and energy shield deflection, which is sort of silly. Red Hood gives you Outlaws can use combat reflexes and leap climb. Again, sort of silly because your trait gives you that. But you can be like, hey man, we can pick super senses. Anyway, then you have Starfire. Outlaws can use poison and toughness. Outlaws have the wing transporter symbol, which is what they need, but on their rookie dial, it's just bad. Because you're talking about doing transporter with it on top dial with a 7 attack when it's said and done. They have a trait, they have their one special power on their asset dial that says shoot first, ask questions later. If Outlaws are given the first non-free action of the turn, damage dealt is penetrating damage for that action. Okay? Outlaws can use Outwit, but only as the last action is turn. So you can just do penetrating damage the entire time. Now, why is all this together? What does this look like? Okay, well, first off, we want Starfire on there the entire time. And once we land on Starfire, we keep it on Starfire. And here's why. You have 3 targets, and now you have poison. Okay? You don't want to keep Starfire on there. Sorry, I apologize. Arsenal. you have 3 targets and you have energy explosion and energy shield deflection, but mainly energy explosion. And that's where Titans, sorry, not to say Titans, Outlaws becomes really, really strong. You can also look at the fact that since they have the Outsiders TA, they can do some good silliness to your opponent and making it a little bit easier for them to hit. You also can add Outlaws ATA on them, but yeah, that's anyway. I'll leave that alone. Having enhancement for a team dial to me is like having energy shield deflection in a melee only battle. It's pretty pointless unless you're using them to help out another team dial or another figure. And they'll never be Heralds of Galactus, so you never have to worry about that. Sort of wish they could be, because they would be awesome. All right. Overall, the rookie dial is very, very lackluster, and really, if I had the ability to talk to them, I would switch click 3 and click 1 with each other. Even though I wouldn't start with running shot, I'd rather have that 11 attack and 3 damage than a 9 attack and ranged combat expert. If we look at the Outlaws dial at the experience level, we're getting a bit better. We have Charge, Psychic Blast, Perplex. You know, it's starting to shape up. We have damage reduction. Okay, so that's pretty good. We can start looking at, you know, Arsenal and Red Hood and landing on that sweet click, or even having one of them and sort of playing accordingly. Having Charge is nice. It allows you to, you know, do a Psychic Blast, then charge, or move then charge. So that's a nice ability to have combo together. Finally, the vet version. The vet version is where I'm like, dude, why did you save the awesome for last? Running shot, Psychic Blast, 18 defense, invulnerability, 4 damage. Now, why is this awesome? New rules. If you use Psychic Blast and Energy Explosion together, I think the Energy Explosion damage is penetrating. And oh yeah, we have 3 targets, man. 3 targets. So that's some guaranteed Energy Explosion going off. Also, I would say that at 400 points, when you combine everything, they have enough amount of clicks for them to just be barely enough under other people's radar, and still threatening. Okay, so that's how I look at it. Would it be my first pick to play? No, but I don't think that they're a bad pick to play at vet. So play vet. Everything else, that's up to you. But I would definitely say play vet. Now we're going to look at the Justice League. Okay, I've juked y'all so much. Okay, it's only fair. Justice League. I'm going to preference this with a couple of things. So bear with me. Preference number 1. The Justice League is not invincible. Preference number 2. The Justice League does not have the best stats. Okay. Like Teen Titans, Villains for Hire. Sorry, Teen Titans, the Villains for Hire, and I think New Teen Titans too. And New Teen Titans. All of them have better average stats at various points in time on their dials. Okay. And really, if you look at the attack value for most of the other team dials, their attack average, except for Outlaws, is just about on par or better for stability than Justice League. And then some of you are like, Dark Logos, you on that stuff again. I'm like, hold up, wait, just bear with me, and here's why. You don't see 12s on a lot of the other dials except on the vets, okay, version of the other team dials. With the Justice League, where it becomes very interesting. I mean, sorry, with all other team dials, their average attack is around a 10 for most of them. With the Justice League, you have these crazy dips that just occur. Like, why am I getting 9? Why am I getting a 9 attack? I should never get a 9 attack. Okay, but you get 9 attacks, and that's like a little, questionable. Like, why am I getting 9 attacks so often? Um, and that's what sort of puzzled me. If you go and look at like the Teen Titans vet, out of all of their clicks, you only have 2 clicks of nine attack. Okay, that doesn't, really think about that. If you look at Outlaws, that comes in for a lot less points. They have 4 clicks of 9 attack, okay, for their whole dial starting at the vet. If you look at Justice League, you have 4 clicks of 9 attack. Okay, so there's something wrong. I mean, there's weakness here. Okay, the next thing that I really want to point out, and I'm just going to talk about it in general, then I'll get into specifics. The next sort of caveat that I want to point out is the Justice League, more than any other team, is hurt from mind control. I'm going to repeat that again. The Justice League, more than any other team, is hurt from mind control. Now, here is why. Go and look and scroll up and look in your unit section. I want you to look at the Batman from this set. Okay. Now, the Batman from this set is utter crap. He's utter crap stat-wise. But he has this trait. That won't work, Opposing characters within 6 squares can't ignore pushing damage. Now, this is scary against, Quintessence and Power Cosmic and Indomitable and Willpower and all the blah, 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 blah. Okay. Where he becomes scary for the Justice League itself is that if he's mind controlled, the Justice League is mind controlled, and you pop off Batman, Batman's friendly to your force, period. Okay? The next thing that becomes really scary is if you mind control Justice League when they have 1 action token with Batman off the base, they are now in a tough position because they now can't push, or if they do push, or sorry, if they do take that second action, they're going to take pushing damage, which at 300 points for sure really hurts the Justice League. Okay, just I wouldn't say cripples them, but it really hurts them. And if you're able to run away that Batman far enough, they don't have the ability to even try to reabsorb him or do anything along that nature. And I think they're going to probably rule you can do some weird reabsorbing shenanigans or something. But pulling off Batman and having him on your team, or just being able to say, I pull off Batman and I run him to, the other end of tarnation, it's fine, because now they lose some very important elements to their team. Okay, not only that, so pretty much they lose their complete outwit protection, because Batman was giving them nope, it wasn't Batman. Sorry, the founding members. So they lose founding members, and then also you can use Perplex on them. That was the protection, was against Perplex, not Outwit. Okay, the other character you wanted to mind control to get off is Aquaman. Definitely for all these other team dials, to definitely protect your other team dials against Justice League, you need to take Aquaman off so that you can have your super senses and shape change. Once you do that, Justice League is in a whole lot of trouble. And they come in at more points than just about any other team dial, definitely at the vet level, but they can't afford to miss. So those 2 elements, Aquaman and Batman, Once those two are off their team dial, they are in trouble. They are in major trouble because now you can outwit them, and now you can evade you have a chance of evading their attacks, and they do not like that. Okay. All right. So now I've sort of broke some things down, and then for those that are interested, I did put some stuff up on the blog about fighting the Justice League. So go look at that, and you're going to get some help there. Now, going on to looking at their trait. Founding members. When all team members are attached, Justice League powers and abilities can't be countered. Okay, so that's nice. Next up is Watchtower. At the beginning of the game, choose a team ability or keyword possessed by a character on the opposing team. Opposing characters with that team ability or keyword can't use stealth. Why is this a big deal? Let's say, for instance, you decide that you are going to play Justice League at 300 points at a 1,000-point game on a complete Justice League team. Your opponent has Batman TA. Well, guess what? You have Superman, Batman, and Justice League TA because you're the freaking Justice League. Throw your exhibit symbols in the air. Okay, you've done that. But the rest of your team doesn't have that. So by using Watchtower, you can just be like, all of their Batman family do not have stealth. All of their so-and-so figures do not use stealth, which pretty much holds Beta Ray Bill. Because Beta Ray Bill says, if they possess stealth, he can protect them, but they can't use it. Okay, so, and that might be a rules deputy question, so I might have to ask on that one. Okay, so this mainly Watchtower is useful because it helps you as a team element. It helps the rest of your team operate. It doesn't give you immunity to ignore Henry terrain, so they will still get their Henry terrain bonus. You don't get any movement bonuses, but this does really, 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 really help you if you're going to try to fill out the Justice League with other figures. All right, going on. Truth and Justice special power. Opposing characters within 4 squares can't have their combat values modified if the modified result would be higher than the original. This is sort of help them deal with combat reflexes and energy shield deflection. But again, if you mind control, pop a figure off and then outwit them. Outwit that power. Then they're in trouble. Okay. Next up is we depend on each other. Defensive power. Justice League can use defense, super senses, and toughness. This is pretty much like a hybrid of a couple other team abilities. Special powers that you see on the other team dials. By having defend, and they have it with the 18 on the rookies, and I think they have a 19 on one of their dials. It's sort of nice. The toughness is the chink in the armor, but it tries to make up with that by giving it super senses. All right, now I talked about Aquaman, I talked about Batman and why they're awesome. Next up is Cyborg. Cyborg is the runner-up on the awesome list, mainly because he can give the Justice League sharpshooter, and he modifies their range value by +2. So he can just pretty much say, I pick a character, and they're in the back there, and I shoot you, which makes the Justice League's range 10. Yes, I did say that. It makes the Justice League's range 10 with sharpshooter, and they have running shot on their rookie version starting off. And even more so, hey, guess what? You have super senses? Not really Aquaman starting off. So Cyborg and Aquaman starting off there's really no reason to turn your asset dial. Just no reason. Now, if situations change, it becomes a melee fight, then the Flash and the Superman assets become really useful. Mainly because when opposing characters use hypersonic speed, their attack and damage value is lowered by 1 due to the Flash. And then the Superman says, hey, after I reduce damage by 1 more on top of that. So if you see a very big hypersonic speed damage dealing threat running around, you want to have the Flash and Superman show up. You want one of those or both. And you can pretty much just neuter your opponent's hypersonic speed character. And here's why. We have invulnerability. Let's ignore impervious right now. So -2. They have hypersonic speed. So technically they have one less damage. So we're actually netting one more damage reduction if we have to look at it like that. Then Superman is knocking it down one more again. Okay. So that's 4. Okay, that's 4 damage we've technically knocked off. Then on top of that, our opponent has to do 5 or more damage to do damage to us. That's ridiculous. And so if you have a hypersonic speeder running around, or really if you have any character running around, you have Superman showing, and they only have a 3 damage and no penetrating, you're immune. You're immune to all damage that they do, and just gradually clean them up at your leisure. They can't hurt you. Okay. Looking at the rookie dial, and I think this is the one that we're going to see the most. This is our Gen Con contender. I have to say, at 300 points, they have more clicks of 9 attack than almost any other team dial. And that can be exploited. And at 300 points, there's some other team dials that come in that are a little bit longer in length for the clicks of health. Now, they do start off with running shot, super senses. I mean, not super senses, running shot, super strength, impervious, and perplex. And yes, they can perplex up their defense to a 19, plus get hindering bonus and all the other good jazz. That's great. And their stealth because of Batman TA, if they place themselves in the proper way. And so all of that can come in and just be so annoying. Now, I wish when you popped off Batman that they lose the Batman TA, or you popped off Superman, you lose Superman TA, but it doesn't work like that. Where does this become an issue? If you use the utility belt and you just like, no team abilities for you, they lose Batman TA, Superman TA, and Justice League TA. So getting a good line of sight so you can do that is beneficial. The other thing that's noticeable is that they have a 16D on their click 3, and that's not nice. They do have shape change, but the 16D, I really am not feeling that. Also, they have 4 clicks of phasing, which again, really not feeling that. I think that there's stuff you better spit, but it could be balanced. It could be balanced. So overall, 300 points, again, with all the characters on there, is balanced. If you're able to mind control the Justice League and take a character off, they only can do 2 actions. And once you put them in that 2 action zone, they are not as scary. They really aren't as scary. All right. Moving on to the experienced. The experienced is, again, WizKids saying, hey, man, we give you 100 points for more clicks. Yeah. And I don't really like it. The charge, instead of running shot, is sort of, if you want to feel like you're not being, that guy that always plays the meta pieces and you really want to play your Justice League, wait until you play like a 400 or 500 point game and then play them starting off at this dial. It gives your opponent way more of a chance than they should have. It gives them way more of a chance than what they should have. And I don't like that. Having that special power lineup with charge is nice because you can charge in there and not worry about combat reflexes. But it makes them into this brick piece that they don't really excel at. And also, only having one target is also one of their major weaknesses. They only can go after one character at a time. So they can't just be like, you, and you dead. Other team dials can. So I want you to keep that in mind, that Justice League is very laser focused. If they don't kill whatever they go after that turn, you're in trouble. There is no bet hedging. Okay. Now, when we look at the vet is where I am again scratching my head, because again we have this charge. Hold on, wait, did it load right? Yeah, it did. We have this charge show up, or did I look at the wrong dial from the beginning? Oh, no, I'm looking at Teen Titans. I accidentally clicked Teen Titans. Okay, there we go. All right, technical difficulties. Now we're back on the vet. Okay, the vet has running shot. super strength, 20D, and outwit. And this is where I'm like, the Justice League is in the house, 600 points. Everybody's on there. And I'm going to say this, and some of you are going to disagree strongly with me. But at this stage, I feel that the Justice League is the most deadliest figure in the game. Period. No debates, no questions, no nothing. A full Justice League is the most deadliest figure in the game. Slapping my hands for emphasis, if you can hear that. Okay, and here's why. At this stage, you have, I would say, 700, 800, and higher. Really, 700 points and higher. And this is why. First off, a Pac-A-Medic. And you can say, like, well, I can pop off Green Lantern. Yes, you can pop off Green Lantern. And he can pick a standard attack or damage power, which requires a power action, and use it, which includes support. But what you're mainly doing is, since you have to have 3 characters on the base, you're going to say Aquaman, Cyborg, y'all stay on there. Superman, you're coming with me. Batman, you're coming with me. And Green Lantern, you're coming with me. Wonder Woman, you have to stay on there because I'm probably going to be too many points once I pull all these cats off. Okay. Once you pull all those characters off, and I think I'm probably over with that combo. Just sort of doing it in my head. Probably over. But it can't exceed the point of the dial. Okay? So that means that once you pull it off, one character off, you can't have your combined total be more than, of the characters you pull off, more than 595. Pull off another character, 590. Pull off a third character, 585. Okay? So your barrier goes lower and lower. You have to have a minimum 3 characters on the dial. Now, you pull off Superman, you have something ridiculous. You pull off Batman, you have something ridiculous. You pull off that Green Lantern, you have something ridiculous. Wonder Woman is okay. I'm not really scared when I see her. But she can do some pretty cool stuff. Cyborg, I'm not. He's nice. He's nice, but he should never come off unless you have a need for something else on the dial. Okay, so once you start popping these guys off on top of what your team already has, and your medics and your perplexes and your Madame Xanadu's and all that stuff, you are faced with a monster. Okay, a pure monster. All right, and just add insult to injury. Madame Xanadu, Justice League Dark, or classic Justice League Silver Age, TA. Okay, now it won't apply to the characters that pop off, but it applies to your Justice League dial and every other character that you put on your team. Okay, that is really strong. Really, really strong. So overall, I would. This is where I would be concerned at, and this is where I would say the first thing you do is perplex up your mind controller to cap attack and try to pop off a Superman or a Batman or somebody, just somebody, so you have a chance. And that's how I feel about that. But if you don't have mind control and you see them on the other end of your field, and again, the ruling on mind control can change. Good gosh, I do not. I feel for you, because Galactus is going to have a problem with it. You're going to be like, how does Galactus have a problem with it? Because of the pure simple fact that once you pull off 3 of those characters, and again, this is over 3 turns, that character pulled off, it can be healed. That character pulled off can use their special effects. Batman can screw up Galactus so that he's going to take pushing damage, and his herald's going to take pushing damage. Um, and they can Kamehameha do crazy damage with you, plus pick up an object and put down an object in new rules. This, yeah, that's the evil. 300 points, not as scary. 600 points, maybe you're going to have to put some rules in at your venue. And you know me, I don't normally say that. I normally don't say that, but with this, yeah, that, or you're playing Nightmare to make sure that they have the most horrible map choice ever. All right, uh, I know it's not there. It's getting to the point where you're saying like, okay, man, let's just assess the vet dial overall. The vet dial overall is very deep. They benefit from a medic. Really, I mean, like, all you could say, like, well, yeah, all multi-dial characters or all large dial characters benefit from a medic. I know, but they truly have a whole dial of damage reduction. Most of the team dials don't have that. Every click they reduce damage. Um, their average damage is looking around maybe like a 4 at a vet level. Maybe at worst like a 3.8. Okay. Uh, Their burst is strong. Their mobility is strong. 12 movement and combined with cyborg ability and running shot. Yeah, you're pretty much saying we can get you anywhere on the map. So don't try to hide. Hiding, it does you no good. You hear me, child? Hiding does you no good. Anyway, um, can they be killed? Yes. Can they be really jacked up? Yes. But it will require you to do some creative thinking, and the unspoken is saying, I am the royalty for that job. All right, last but not least, we're going to talk about Gen 13, and I'm going to make a claim that's going to make you really say, like, what? Um, Gen 13 is one of the strongest team dials in the game, right behind Justice League. And at 300 points, they can give Justice League for a run for their money. and you're like, oh gosh, here he goes. I'm all ears for this. I'm all ears for this. How's he going to put lipstick on a pig? Okay, here's how it rolls. They have a special power, learning to fight back. If Gen 13 was attacked last turn, their damage, not hit, just attacked, their damage value is locked. Okay, everything they do, their damage is the same. And lock this turn, and any damage dealt by them is penetrating damage. Now, you might say, well, Dark Logos, 2 penetrating damage or 3 penetrating damage is not all that awesome. I mean, come on, man. Okay, just bear with me and you'll see why this is broken. Next up on their team dial, I'm going to go through their whole team dial because this is really important. Burnout gives you Pulse Wave. Fairchild gives you Super Strength. Free Fall gives you Force Blast and Telekinesis. Grunge gives you Move and Attack. And Sarah Rainmaker gives you Energy Explosion with 3 targets. How does this sound familiar? Oh yes, everything that in new meta is almost strong and broke did, they have. Pulse Wave, Super Strength, Force Blast, Energy Explosion with 3 targets. That's all brokenness. Also, they start off on, we're the next generation. So they're going to automatically going to have to roll their resource dial. So just keep that in mind. We're the next generation. Gen 13 can use Perplex twice per turn. When they do, they may only target themselves once per turn. So what they can do is they can Perplex up one of their stats, which, most likely starting off is going to be movement and or defense, and then Perplex up or down, Perplex up a friendly figure, or Perplex down opposing figure. Now, why is this a big deal? Overall, when you combine all these elements together, you get crazy synergy with new rules. Not only do you get crazy synergy, you open up a different way of thinking about team dials. Now, you're also going to note something quite interesting as well. What do they not have? They do not have a trait that says when all our homies are together, we get to do this, which means that the only thing affected by pulling a character off is, oh yeah, the asset die. Okay. By only having 5 members, they can only pull off 2 characters at a time. But that really doesn't matter too much because of what I'm about to say. When you look at who you can pull off, who you want to pull off, it's going to be Burnout and Sarah Rainmaker. You want to keep Fairchild, Freefall, and Grunge on there. And if you really want to, you could say Burnout and Grunge. You can pull off. Okay. Now let's break some stuff down even more. Look at the rookie dial. The rookie dial starts off, it's flyer, phase and teleports, in caps. Oh, more new meta stuff. Toughness, combat free reflexes. Oh wow, more new meta stuff. Yeah. So overall, they can phase up, get to where they need to be. Not the best of movement though. And then they can just close combat attack you, or they can phase up, get where they need to be, and in cap you, or just shoot you for a straight 3. So that's the interesting part. The next thing that you can look at on the rookie dial is their last 3 clicks is where they get to use their learn to fight back, and if you combine that with, let's say a multi-target pulse wave, wouldn't my damage be locked at 2? Oh, yes, it would be. Hey, if I go and use energy explosion and new and current rules, I think my damage would be locked at 2. Now that one might be a little BS for right now, but I really think that that fact that they say that their damage is locked is just way too strong. Because you could just start combining it with other effects. Anyway, I wonder if it would work with NCAP. I don't know. Anyway, going on. Because I think they said it locks your damage at 0, but would it then lock your damage at 2? Well, no, actually, you don't have NCAP with that. Sorry. Oh man, I'm getting way too giddy. Anyway, going on. We look at the experience version, 175. We got running shot now. We have our whole damages lock thing. We're doing a little bit better. You will notice that Gen 13 has no evasion options, none whatsoever. And here's the thing that I want you to realize: Gen 13 will never ever be a theme team, because you would only end up spending money to buy a bunch of either Sarah Rainmakers off of eBay, or putting together a bunch of Fairchilds. And trust me, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. Just go ahead and play them as a figure on a force. Uh, so them having prob becomes beneficial, so you don't have anything overlapping. Overall, they're pretty nice and deep for a 200-point figure. If you look at them, for a normal figure that you get around 200 points, you don't really get this many clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 clicks for 200 points, that's good. No regen or anything like that. No ability to heal themselves, that's fine. Okay, now, enter the shocker. The 300-point level Gen 13. This is where it gets scary. They have charge, they have quake, they have ranged combat expert, and they have invulnerability. Now you're like, Dark Logos, this isn't that scary, man. I mean, yeah, but okay. First off, we've defied the Whiz Kids rule of, hey man, we give you 100 points for clicks. We've gotten 100 for 100 more points. We've gotten 5 clicks twice. Okay, that's the first thing. The next thing to notice is that we have charge starting off. And charge and quake is a nice little combination, but mainly just saying the charge, because the charge allows us to get into position and edge in, sort of close our gap a little bit better. Also, the big key thing is when we are, taking characters off, we can say, boom, move up, didn't attack. My last action is I'm popping off Sarah Rainmaker. You're going to pop off a full dial Sarah Rainmaker, which starts off with running shot, 11 attack, 3 damage, and range combat expert. You can pop off your next turn a full dial burnout, who has a very, very nice energy explosion power that is worth pointing out, and it goes as follows. Catch fire. Burnout can use energy explosion. When he does, characters successfully hit are dealt damage equal to the number of times it was hit by this attack times 2. Hit him the first time, oh, energy explosion, I do 2 damage. Hit him second time, energy explosion, I do 4 damage. Hit him the third time, energy explosion, I do 6 damage. Yeah. So it can get ridiculous really, really, really fast. But mainly, once you pop them off, you can go and do an action with them. So you just pop them off in position for him to do a ranged combat attack shot with a 10 attack and to do 4 damage. And then you combine that with Sarah Rainmaker that can do 5, and then you combine it with Gen 13 on their click, which allows them to do 6. That is a crazy amount of damage to do in a period of a short of 2 turns. So I really want you to think about that and realize, like, oh snap. This may not be as bad as I thought. Okay, so let's wrap this up. Because you listened to me so long, ramble and ramble and ramble, I have a cool prize for you. And I'll say that at the end of the broadcast. Hit me up at StartOverPod on Twitter, because YouTube is sort of sucky and won't always tell you when I've updated my show. Also, at random times, I will put something cool there. And you know what? I might just put a code here sometime within the next week or so. Or maybe not. You never know. So check it out. Also, email me at startingoverpodcast@gmail.com. That's startingoverpodcast@gmail.com. I really do like y'all to hit me up there because I'm not always on the realms. New sets come out, I sort of stay there and look around at stuff, but after that, I sort of just chill. Then you can also check out the blog, startingoverpodcast.blogspot.com. A lot of original content, a lot of new content that goes out with that, so definitely check that out. All right, because I care, here's a real quick, Realms Open Championship is coming out. Next one is Northeast Regional. Definitely try to go if you're in the area. It's the New England Regional will be held at the Double Midnight Comics and Collectibles at 245 Maple Street, Manchester, New Hampshire 03103. Call them at 603-669-9636. Okay, you can call in advance to sign up. And a tribute to Howard Brock, we're going to give away a HCO code. HCO, HEROCLIX Online. Your only game you pay to play HEROCLIX Online. That's not an advertisement. Anyway, the code goes I like Iron Man, M like machine, 3 M like machine, Z like zoot suit, 4 Z like zoot suit, 4 M like machine, 4 A like apple, E like Edward. All right. Good luck to the person who puts that in, and who knows, people in the future, you may be the first person to do so. All right, that's it. My computer hard drive space is about to run out. So thank you for listening, and remember, we all have to start over sometime.
I'm into comic books, figures on the wall. She's into looking good, Vicky C's catalog. And she loves my flaws, yeah, she's not ashamed. I'm a Peter Parker, she's my Mary Jane. She's my Mary Jane, she's my Mary Jane. She's my Mary Jane, she's my Mary Jane. She's my Mary Jane, she's my Mary Jane. I'm a Peter Parker, she's my Mary Jane. I'm a big nerd around her, but she's cool around me. Never knew how she found me. Electric, but she grounds me. And she loves my flaws, she accepts them all. When the darkness comes, I will get the call. I will swing down to save her.